So for the past 2.5 years I've been working for a Thai company here in Samui, and one of the main reasons for that, well, obviously the money, and another one of the main reasons was because of the visa that it gave me. So having a work permit and a business visa meant that I could stay here. It was actually a very good experience, nice little gig, enjoyed the job a lot. It's ending very amicably. It was a very nice experience actually. I thoroughly enjoyed my time there, but I think I'm maybe in a position where I can stop working there. And since about June last year, the government have introduced a new visa, the DTV, the Destination Thailand visa. And it is a 5-year visa. I'm not sure that this is going to support my weight, but I'll give it a go. It's a 5-year visa to remain in Thailand. It's designed for people that have got jobs, digital nomads mainly, for people that are working for companies that are not Thai. So you can't work for a Thai-based company if you have this visa. There's a few rules and stipulations and stuff. For example, you have to have at least 500,000 baht in a bank account if it's in Thailand. If you go to a different country, the amount varies. So initially I believe you had to go to your own country to apply for this visa, but at the start of 2025 they relaxed it slightly, and you can now go to Laos, to Cambodia, to Vietnam. I don't think Philippines is on the list yet, but there are a few countries that you can visit and get the work done while you're there. It takes up to a month depending on whether you're lucky or unlucky, I guess. So as long as you can prove that you work for a non-Thai company and that you've got wages coming in every month and that, it's now quite easy to obtain. But it's even a little bit easier than that, because let's say you don't work for a foreign company. If you're willing, not just willing, but if you do sign up for a 6-month Thai cooking course or a 6-month Muay Thai course, not learning to train Muay Thai, but learning to be the trainer, learning how to hold the pads and everything. If you sign up for a proper, reputable 6-month course, you can also receive this 5-year visa, which obviously is going to give you 4.5 years of freedom once you've completed the course. Now also there's other options, some of them I don't really understand, like concerts, and there's a musician one, and if you're coming over for surgery, I think if you had cancer or something and you were coming over for a long-term treatment, you can also apply for this DTV visa. You can also apply if you're under 20 and possibly if you're a wife of someone that already has, or husband of someone that already has the DTV, you can go like as their de facto. So there are other ways of jumping onto this as well. Another little benefit of this visa is, at least from what I'm told, there's no going to the immigration for a re-entry form. If you have a work permit or retirement visa and stuff, a lot of the time you still have to go to the immigration office to tell them, hey, I'm going to leave on this date and return on this date. And if you don't tell them, your visa is immediately cancelled as soon as you leave the country. So a lot of people make this mistake as well, so do check that out. Your terms of your visa, you may need to tell them each time you're leaving the country, even if you've got a multiple entry visa. Different visas have different rules, but from what I've been told, that is not a requirement of the DTV, and I can literally just wander in and out of the country at will for 5 full years. So you don't just get to stay for 5 years, nothing's ever that simple. After 180 days, you're supposed to leave the country, but you can return on the same day. So you literally just do a visa run, stamp your passport, come straight back in. Now, I've heard conflicting stories, so I'll check closer to the 180 days. But some people have said to me, you don't have to leave after 180 days. You just go to the immigration, you pay a little fee, and they give you another 180 days, but you can only do that once. So you'd get 360 days. So basically in a 5-year visa, I'd have to leave the country just 5 times. Other people have said, no, you will have to leave after 6 months, so it will be 10 times. But still, having to only leave every 6 months and being able to return on the same day isn't really that inconvenient and doesn't really bother me. It's also a very cheap option because the visa itself for 5 years costs just 10,000 baht if you do everything yourself. Now I am going to use an agent, I have been using an agent, so it's going to cost me more. And then obviously, let's say you go down the route of the Muay Thai classes or the cookery classes, you have to enroll in the school and spend 6 months going to that school. Or at least paying to go to the school. I'm not sure how vital the attendance is. Obviously you're supposed to go, I'm not sure how strict it is. So the expense of that will obviously be on top with the agent and stuff, but you're still talking, I mean, you're probably talking about 40,000, 45,000 for 5 years worth of visa, which is, I think people on the if you're on a retirement visa, you can tell me what it costs you, because I'm not 100% sure what it costs, but I do know that you have to do it every single year, and there's a lot of faffing about and waiting, and then you need to keep 800,000 baht in your account all the time. You can spend it, but when you go to apply next year, they're going to ask for the bank statement again to show that you have 800. So if you've dipped into it, you have to replace it. So as far as I'm concerned, you can't spend it unless you know that this is your last year in Thailand. But it's also true of, let's say you're getting an education visa. Your education visa costs a tidy few thousand baht, and then you have to pay a lot more to the school that's going to be educating you. And then I think you're supposed to go to 8 hours of lessons every single week. If you want to leave the country, you have to report before you leave, and you have to tell them when you're due back. And I don't think you're allowed to leave for more than a month, because as far as they're concerned, why aren't you going to college? Every 3 months you have to go to the immigration office with all the paperwork and like a register to show that you've been turning up to class to renew your visa. There's actually quite a lot of messing about, and it's very time consuming. Now obviously look, at the end you've learned a new language or a new skill, but it is only 1 year, and actually I believe I'm right in saying that the Thai language visa is only for 9 months. So it's a handy little visa, something worth looking into, especially if you're planning on coming and going a lot over the next few years, and you plan on staying more than your sort of regulated 30 to 60 days that you would get on a tourist visa. So good news, good news. I should have a lot more free time on my hands moving forwards now, and that means that from this channel's point of view, I'm going to be able to start making a lot more videos and get on the road. Because if you've seen a lot of my videos, well, I haven't made a lot of videos recently, but if you've seen the ones that I have put up, a little bit of negativity starting to creep in. So it's going to be nice. As I look, even paradise gets boring after a while, as crazy as that may seem. You know, I'm talking to people about this a lot recently and saying, like, you know, they live in pool villas, and I'm like, well, do you swim in the swimming pool? They're like, not really, to be honest. We used to, and now we don't. And it's the same with me, kind of like, even with the beach and stuff. It's like, when I first moved here, swimming on the beach every day. And I thought, I'll never get sick of this. I'll never get bored of swimming on the beach every day here. This is amazing. I'm the luckiest person in the world. And next thing, it was 3 times a week, once a week, every couple of weeks, a couple of times a month. Never. You know, now I go down the beach, normally I target quiet beaches because I don't want to see too many people, because I've normally got the dogs with me. It's not even about me going to the beach anymore, it's now just about the dogs getting a run and not being around too many people. And so only when I have visitors, which isn't that often, when I have people come over from Europe, family members and stuff, friends, they're obviously in holiday mode, and then I do what they're doing. I go down to the beach, and I think, why don't I do this more often? I said it when I left and went to Hua Hin, and I went back into holiday mode, and I'm like, why don't I appreciate Samui more? You know, why don't I go for a beer every now and then? I love playing pool, I love swimming on the beach, but it's just, there's a thing about, like, it'll be there tomorrow. It's there tomorrow, you know, like, I'm not leaving anytime soon. The beach will be there tomorrow, and it'll be there the day after that. I haven't been back to where my family live in the west of Ireland for 6 or 7 years. Where they live, there's a couple of world-class cliff walks. Unbelievable, the scenery is incredible, the sea crashing against the rocks. I mean, you're spoiled. It's a beautiful, beautiful walk, and I bet you if I called my family and said, when was the last time you did that walk, they've not done it. They've not done it probably for years, you know, if at all, unless they own a dog and maybe they're getting out with the dog. They won't have done it, and they know it's amazing. If you put me back in that town now, I'd do it. I'd do them both, like probably on the first day, or maybe one on the first day and one on the second day. And 2 or 3 days later, I'd go and do them again. And then maybe a couple of weeks later, I'd go and do them again. But that's because I know I'm only there for a short amount of time. If you let me live there, I'd be in that same category of I haven't been on them for years. When you come to Samui for 2 weeks, of course you're going to go to the beach every day, because we're leaving in 12 days, we're leaving in 10 days, we're leaving in 5 days. When it's there forever, and you know you can go next week or next month, you just start to take it for granted. You know, I went to see a man many, many years ago. I was in North Wales, and I went into the countryside and visited this man that lived in the middle of nowhere on the side of a mountain. He had this big balcony area outside his house, and when I arrived, he wasn't there. And I remember I sat on this balcony waiting for him for about 30 minutes, just almost breathless watching this incredible view and thinking, wow, he wakes up to this every single day. How lucky. It was like down into the valley, and you could see all the sheep and there was mountains. It was incredible. And when he finally got there, he was, oh, sorry, I'm late. And I was like, no problem, I've just been looking at this. I said, wow, you know, what a view. And as he's putting the key in the door, he had his back to the view. He went, you'd be surprised how quickly you tire of it. So you live in London. Are you going out all the time still? When was the last time you went and sat in Hyde Park and relaxed, or took your picture outside Buckingham Palace, or went to look at Big Ben? It doesn't matter where you live, you can live in the coolest place in the world. I think eventually you're going to want to change your scene, you're going to want a holiday. Italy. When was the last time you went to the Colosseum or the Leaning Tower of Pisa? Have you been on the canals of Venice lately? I bet you haven't. I'm not really a city man, but I've been on an island for so long now, I wouldn't mind being in a city for a few days. Or up on a mountain or something, you know, something different. Just because you live somewhere cool doesn't mean you don't sometimes need to change your scene or a holiday, you know? Fucking hell, it's hot. I need to get off this island so that I can come back and appreciate it again. I need to go and be a tourist again somewhere else, because this has become home, and there's only so much fun you can have at home.